Hello everyone and welcome to an unboxing of the latest releases for the Batman miniature game by Night Models. Reinforcements for Birds of Prey, Two-Face, Batman, and then also a man who has a camera for a face. But the biggest change is definitely their packaging. This is a totally new style of packaging for them. There's no clamshell cases or whatever you call them, the blister packs. Clamshells are VHS, aren't they? Either way. None of that here. This is all just little boxes and they're much more eye-catching. I'm not sure how retailers are going to like the lack of things to hang them on for the smaller boxes, but the larger boxes look so much better. It helps when you have such colourful models, I suppose, but that looks so much better. It's so much more eye-catching. Like, even if I had no idea that this was associated with Batman, although it would be hard to miss, but you just like cast your eyes on that, the colour and the models alone would get your attention. It would make you look into it. So yeah, I approve this change in packaging. It looks so much better. Even the Dark Knight range looks so much better in box form than in the old plastic cases. But we'll go through it in order, as per usual though. Sadly, no stat cards, got to use the app. But we'll take a look at the quality of the sprue and see if that matches the much improved quality of the packaging. Starting with the Birds of Prey. So this Harley Quinn is a new sidekick for Birds of Prey, so she can be the leader if you don't bring a leader to actually be the boss. And she has some themed thugs. Now I've done some spitballing about how you can fit them into Birds of Prey. You bring this Harley, you bring all of her new goons, you still have room for the 3rd edition Poison Ivy to be your boss, and bringing 2 or 3, I think all 3 of her little plants. You can't bring Frank. I guess you could dump 2 of the little ones maybe and that would make room for Frank, but it kind of fits perfectly with just the small ones. Either way, let's see how this new packaging works out. So Harley on base with only one hyena, sadly they couldn't fit both in, so I guess that'll be Bruce then instead of Bud or Lou. And on the back here, it's basically the same. Download the official BMG app to create your crew and more. Not as specific to say, hey, there's no stat card in here, but who knows, I might be pleasantly surprised. Oh, bit of the tab just fell off there. So we do just have, it is just literally the bag of sprue. So let's just have a look and see the quality. Gently now, because there's some small bits. I am not sure what that is actually. Let's see, what is that? I'm going to need to put it behind the camera, hang on. I have no idea what that is. It looks like a peg leg. I'm not sure what that is. It must have came off of this. It must be like bits of the stage perhaps. Now there is the stage. Looks good. No warping, which is a nice thing. E. Oh, I wonder if there's assembly instructions. Is that why it says E? So there's this little bit. This has got to be one of her, no, it's not one of her hands, because the body part has both her hands. I don't know what it is. It's probably something off of the hyena then. I can't get any for it. It's definitely not going to be in focus. It's important though, because it's got a little bit to slot into. I know it's got a bit of flash on it, but still. There's the hyena. Oh, it's missing its hands. It's going to be its hands going onto the base of the skateboard probably. Well, pause, you know what I mean. Yeah, that's what it is, because the skateboard doesn't have any. Seems a little unnecessary, but that's okay. Got a plunger because there's dynamite on there. Where's her head? There's her head. Okay, let's get that. Let's see if we can get that. Let's zoom in if possible. Give it a second. There we go. And her other leg as well. Looks like it's all here. Doesn't have that much cleanup to do, honestly. A little bit of annoying annoying assembly involving the hyena's legs, but other than that, it seems fine. A lot more bits than I was expecting it to be, and it does have a recess there to slot it in, so that's good. Well, I'll need to clean these away then before we move on to the roller derby Harlequins. So it is interesting to note about these roller derby Harlequins that 2 of them actually have guns, but I guess the stipulations by the powers that be that you're not allowed to have guns on miniatures anymore only applies to like pistols, rifles, shotguns, etc. Because it's clearly not applying to flamethrowers and it's not applying to a gas grenade launcher. So that's neat, I guess. So there's the 4 minis. They are wonderful looking, very colourful, very highly detailed, and very interesting poses. They all have unique bases as well, matching that kind of roller theme that Harley has. Well, let's see how they're packaged inside here. Again, obviously no character cards. Oh, there's no pull-out. Or is there? Oh, there is, kinda. Okay, so this is a bit more like how the event pack 2022 was packed. So this will be the large gentleman, and then this will be the others. Okay. Seems to be in quite a lot of bits as well. Let's see here. Apologies if you hear my dog crying. She thinks I'm filming a painting update, so she wants toys thrown. Again, all of it has already come off the sprue, so that's pointless. But we've got ourselves basically every piece of him here. That's, how does this leg go on? How's he skating? He's skating forwards. So that would go on like that, and then you've got one arm with a sickle, with obviously a lot of flash to clean up. We have the other hand, which they did a preview of a long time ago. How does this slot on? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it does fit in. And then the head, not that many bits actually, and it fits together smoothly. So that's your big chunky, desensitized, lots of HP, kind of takes some hits, charge right in there. And that's his theme base. It looks very similar to Harley's. Now there's a lot of bits in here. We'll take a look at some of it at least. Yeah, again, that's so weird. They've all been, well, not entirely, but partially taken off with the sprue. 1 base, 2 base, 3 base. Okay, we have all the bases. And then we have an assortment. This is going to be murder trying to work out what goes where. But there's an example of some of the sprue. This is an assortment of legs and someone's head. I think that's the grenade launcher lady. Yeah, it is. She's wearing the same kind of hat as Harley. Someone's head's come off the sprue. What is this? Oh, flamethrower hand. Don't tell WB. Flamethrower hand. That'll be the other flamethrower, basically the same. What are those? Oh, the wires going onto the flamethrowers. Those are going to be a nightmare. You can tell right away. And then an assortment of their unique bases as well. Again, broken off, very strange. And then an assortment of their bodies all missing legs, so there's not much to show there. But all in all, very highly detailed. A little bit of cleanup, not as much. It's mostly just bits hanging off them, to be honest. I'm not seeing anything that needs trimmed down at a glance. So that is the roller derby Harley Quinns. Let's take a look at the other 3 kind of miscellaneous editions. So let's get cracked into all 3, starting with Asriel, God's Punishment. This is the Michael Lane Asriel, not the Jean-Paul Valley. Although he does have a role that implies they're going to be adding more people that share a keyword with him. So I guess they might be working on a new version of Jean-Paul, or I'm not sure who else from the Order of Saint Dumas could they possibly do. But either way, he is holding his flag aloft right there. And he is correctly bagged. Let's see if all this is straight and undamaged. So that's just his little rock that he's standing on to hoist the flag. That's his base, of course. Then the actual detailed base. That's a little bit open, but I guess that's because, obviously, the stones are going to slot in there once you've cleaned them up. There's his body. Let's get in close for Chris. Give it a second. There we go. Minimum cleanup required, I would say. There's his other sword, because he's equipped with 2 of them that do different things. Come back here. Now let's see. Flagpole. Straight, not bent. Okay, good. Flag itself, billowy. Neat. What do we have here? That's his flaming sword, his other leg. What are these? Oh, the tassels on the back of his cape. Okay, that would be a little annoying. Very Hawk-like, actually. Okay, so he all seems to be there. Let's just move that to one side. And we'll move on to the Two-Face reinforcements. One of which, I only remember one, I think he's called Big John, and he's called the Assassin. And he's very interesting. He has a concealed weapon, because, again, you can't show them wielding weapons anymore. Or guns, at least. Not flamethrowers or grenade launchers. But he has a special rule called Concealed Weapon now, so he has to do an effort to actually fire his gun, because he's pulling out of his trench coat. Which is neat. They're working with the restrictions they've been given, and it's causing them to innovate a little bit. which I appreciate. Alright, these seem super simple. This is the wall that the assassin is up against. That's the assassin's body there. And what do we have here? That's the assassin's head, but Big John's leg and arm. And there's Big John himself. He's a little underwhelming from what I remember from his stats, to be honest, but the assassin does seem very interesting. And, well, Big John is a good thing for a Two-Face crew, because he doesn't have a gun, so he's not going to take up funding like every other henchman he has. So it gives you another non-gun wielding thug that isn't as wimpy as the one with the knife, who I can't even use, sadly, because mine was damaged when I arrived, missing like a third of his leg. But anyway, so that is an interesting reinforcement choice, because Two-Face does need the help. And I think he does fill a gap, even though he's not super fantastic. The assassin does all sorts of fancy stuff. I haven't been checking the stat cards as we've been going, because they've been out on the app for, since the pre-orders opened a month ago. So I'm just kind of assuming people have been familiar with them. Of course, you won't get a true feel for them until you've tried them on the table, but either way, I'm going to tidy these away, and then we will end with the Goofy release this month. So, Mr. Camera, he has a camera for a face. This is from the Dark Knight set that they do, which is their set that lets them cover kind of like Bronze and Silver Age goofiness. The characters that don't quite fit in anywhere else. I apologise for the dog barking. Although that looks like Two-Face in the picture they've included there. In fact, that exact setup was in the animated movie that they got Adam West and Julie Newmar and Burt Ward to voice, and William Shatner voiced Two-Face. They were in that exact predicament in that. I didn't realise it was a direct reference. It was a throwback. I think that was Adam West's last project before he passed away. Anyway, let's take a look at Mr. Camera. It's the exact same style as the other new packaging. Those tabs have come off every single time I've opened them, so that must be by design. I've got a little pile of them here off the camera, just to the left here. Come on. There we go. Okay. The camera that is his face, I think. Actually, yeah, it is. That is the camera that is his face. His body looks normal until you see the rest of the parts that come with him. It's just a dude in a suit. Let's see, what's on his base? Well, his other legs there, he's standing on an old-fashioned film camera. Reels of, like, movie film and a super old-fashioned camera. Like, the attention to detail on all these new scenic bases are giving everything is very nice. Very thematically apt. He has a cape, of course, because what kind of sentient camera wouldn't have a cape? And then the other bits here, what is this? It says two hands, and then something. Oh, he's standing on a pile of film reels. So that goes on the base, and then his foot goes on top of that. I think. Fingers crossed. I think that's what... Yeah. Oh wait, no, he's standing on the camera. I think it just goes on the base for, like, set dressing. Not sure. Either way, though, that's the Goofy release for this month. He's an unknown, so he can just be in anything besides Batman, because he's a criminal. But the bigger releases were the Two-Face reinforcements, Michael Lane, Asriel, and the big ones being the Birds of Prey reinforcements, a new sidekick and themed thugs that look fantastic, and this new packaging looks great too. Hope it draws attention to gaming stores that take them. So as I record this, I think the pre-orders for July, releasing like halfway through August probably, I might actually be up. Looking forward to seeing what those are. Celebrating 10 years of the Batman miniature game, bringing out the Riddler stuff from The Batman, and then some celebratory miniatures and some Mr. Freeze stuff too. So we have that to look forward to in about a month, but for now we'll get to work on getting these on the table as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll put some kind of relevant link in the description box below, and see you next time. Ta-ta for now.